Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, talks a little bit about leaving the Thor role behind and taking on other franchises and possibly leaving the MCU. So as we discussed previously, Chris Hemsworth's future as Thor is always something that the actor says could be up in the air following whatever the most recent addition to his portfolio is. Because as he says, there's got to be something that's interesting that brings him back, because he eventually gets bored of doing the same thing. So the most recent comments he made a while back were, well, this new film is my last one, but beyond that, who really knows? It's one at a time. Most recently, there was an interview that followed up with that, again with Total Film, and he says that when you look at everything you have in front of you, you really got to kind of gauge everything and figure out what you want to do outside of these films, but also what can happen next and is it interesting enough to bring you back. And he says that there's definitely a lot of interest, but again, there's also other things that he would like to do outside of just Thor. And as I stated before, he's going to be playing Hulk Hogan. That's a pretty big role. That's pretty important. So that's got to, happen. He's also been rumored to be joining some other big franchise films. So maybe that's also going to take its time. And who knows how long it is between these Thor appearances and if he's going to appear in one-off things or, you never know where these characters can end up. But he says, and this is the important one, that he would like to leave before people get sick of him and want him to leave, and that he hopes that when that day comes that he's made the decision that's happy, that's for everybody, and that everybody can understand why he's leaving, and that it's not like, oh man, we're sick of you, get out of here. He doesn't want go home heat. I'm using wrestling terms here. There's wrestlers that they just don't resonate anymore with the crowd. Most recently, there was Cody Rhodes in AEW. AEW fans just did not like him. They hated him. It's like, go home. Nobody wanted him there, even when he was trying to do what the fans wanted. Fans just didn't want it. So he was like, you know what, fine, I'll leave, I'll go to WWE. And he did, and people liked him there, but it's different crowds, right? That's kind of the thing here. Stay until you feel like you've done everything, and if you start hearing people say, man, we're kind of getting sick of this character, we're bored, well, maybe then it's time to move on. But he wants to do it before that. He wants to, complete his story where people are like, maybe I still miss him. Sort of like Chris Evans, right? And Robert Downey Jr. People weren't asking for them to go away, but they are, and you kind of look back on that time fondly.